Welcome back to Champion News Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. This is Carol Parisi and founder and host Jack Roeser, and we are talking to Mark Levine today about our too bloated government that is impeding our economic growth here and how people are leaving Illinois by leaps and bounds. And it's a lot of it has to do with all of this unsubstantiated pension debt. So, Mark, a little bit what we were talking about during the break was people that are leaving here, and what are we going to have to do to get some semblance of order, and how do we get jobs created in Illinois so we can get more activity here and people won't leave?
Well, I'll tell you, the first thing that has to happen is we've got to deal with the gorilla in the room, which is this crazy pension debt that actually is bankrupting the state. And to do that, again, we need to first stop digging the hole deeper, and second, we do need to take out that we do need to reduce these huge obligations. And I mean the way you do that is there's some pretty simple fixes. Things like pushing out retirement age to be more consistent with Social Security, okay, and right now there are these compounding 3% COLAs. It's not just that teachers and state workers are retiring with 75% of their last year's income, which is often kind of corruptly spiked.
They game this thing that 75%. Right. They'll put in their last few years. They'll magnify their last pay by
absolutely.
About 30%.
And of course, the citizens, and Jack, the citizens and taxpayers of our state have to save for retirement out of each year's income over their entire career. It's only the unionized workers that actually get all of their retirement savings off of this crazy last year. Now, not only that, it gets worse because of these 3% annual increases. Who gets that? Okay.
A 3% annual increase after you've already retired?
After you retired with 75% of your last year's pay.
And that pay, what it really happens is the top teachers and all of the administrators are getting salaries at the end of their performance, and they go into a pension at age 55 with gamed salaries in the last 3 or 4 years, so that as they exit at the end of their so-called working life, they're making about 30% more than they were making.
Well, and Jack, that's how you get to multi-million-dollar pensions.
Yes.
Okay.
It gets gamed by those at the top of the system that can manipulate them, and those guys are bankrupting this thing. The ordinary teacher is getting taken by this thing.
Yeah, you got it.
And it's a mass of ordinary teachers in that blasted IEA union that are being utilized to provide the political power that's making this disaster fall on the very teachers that are paying those dollars out of their paychecks into dues to the union, is funding the power for the Democrat politicians down there. The teachers are being made goats of by their own union.
No, that's exactly right. In fact, we were talking at the break a little bit, and the reason why I came into this issue to begin with is, again, sort of it gets down to fundamental unfairness, because the citizens and taxpayers of our state, okay, have it's been a tough decade, right? We had equity markets that actually dropped by over 50%. That's everyone, these 401k values, dropping, and that's what people are depending on, for retirement and to sort of get them through. And we all know what's happened with home values dropping by 20+%, stagnant wages, and double-digit unemployment rates, and it's on their back that these multi-million-dollar pensions, and again, as Jack points out, in some cases highly corrupt, multi-million-dollar pensions are being paid. It's just wrong.
It's wrong.
Let me. This is a right and wrong thing.
Let me throw my oar in the water right here, because while they have gone into great debt, and it's basically because the relationship between the politicians and the public unions is an incestuous relationship. It's tantamount to the robbers and the cops getting in bed to steal money from the bank, okay?
But that's a theoretical thing. This other is actual.
But at the same time, they've done everything they could to hurt the amount of revenue that the state comes in. They've done it through regulations. They've done it through harassing businesses. They've done it through raising taxes. People have been leaving Illinois because they're following the jobs.
That's right. And you look at what, the way our General Assembly and Governor dealt with the problem a couple months ago is by taking our income tax rate up 66%, as if people don't have a choice of where to live. It's one thing, Barack Obama sort of has us all, because we all want to live in the United States, but to move, first of all, we could just move to Wisconsin or Indiana with a short drive, and the jobs are in places like Texas, Florida,
Yep.
Georgia, and what does that do for your tax base? And your general economy. I'm really worried about the future of the state.
Well, we need to get good policy implemented in Springfield. We need to start somewhere, and we need to go ahead
You
and
need
contact.
to toss out the people that created this crazy multi-billion-dollar
Yes.
mess. Who's been in charge in the most crooked state in the whole United States? It's the Democrats.
We need pension reform.
They
We
have-
need it now.
Look at Chicago. That's the most crooked corruption political place in the most corrupt state in the union, and the Democrats have been in charge, and they have built this bloody mess, and you got to throw them out.
Well, this is very interesting, and billions and billions of dollars of unsubstantiated debt is going to hurt Illinois. People are leaving. It's going to hurt our children, our grandchildren. And you know what? We realize that taxes are not the solution. Higher taxes for the taxpayers are not the solution.
And Carol, I know we're short on time here, but the way I look at things is Lehman Brothers fell, Rome fell, Detroit is falling. Greece is actually going to restructure their debt, and Illinois is not immune to this. Illinois may default on its debt as a result of this pension problem.
We have to do something. Right back.